Could new, tighter gun laws be on the way in America and here in Hampton Roads? President Obama says the nation has a deep obligation to stop gun violence, and he appointed Vice President Joe Biden to lead an effort to come up with solutions. 10 on your side's Andy Fox has more.
Nicole, we call this arming teachers. Come up with solutions by the end of January, President Obama says. Those solutions could include an assault weapons ban, a ban on high-count ammunition clips, and making mental health treatment as easy to get as it is to buy a gun. And here in Virginia, there will be a legislative fight whether to put guns in schools.
But this time, the words need to lead to action.
President Obama made it clear in the face of a great and indelible American tragedy, the time for lip service is over. Gun control is demanded and suggested without naming the NRA that the old excuses won't work anymore.
The fact that we can't prevent every act of violence doesn't mean we can't steadily reduce the violence.
But here in Virginia, a political reality check. A governor who thinks guns may need to be in the school in the hands of approved personnel.
I know there's been a knee-jerk reaction against that. I think there should at least be a discussion.
Delegate Bob Marshall will submit a bill that begins that discussion.
My statute simply says you must designate an individual, and it's up to you to pick them. I'm not picking them. And I'm not saying, pick 30. Nothing like that. But you must pick an individual who's at that school who is trained in the competent handling of guns.
They always put in crazy bills like that.
State Senator Louise Lucas, who's had several gun control bills die a legislative death outraged by the talk of guns in school.
That is insanity. Just straight up insanity. We do not want guns in our schools.
Senator Lucas points to the repealing this year of allowing the purchase of only one gun a month. Now teachers with guns?
And now we want to make them police officers? Come on, give me a break. They're already overworked, underpaid, and now we want them to carry firearms into a classroom? That is the dumbest statement I've heard made by any governor through this whole process.
Delegate Marshall, often at odds with Senator Lucas, says the only way to stop the attacker is to attack, not wait for the first responders.
When there's a problem, what does she do? She calls 911. What does she call 911 for? To get a guy with the gun there, or a woman with the gun. So it's not the gun per se, it's who's using the gun.
Lucas will submit a bill that closes what she calls the no background check at gun show loophole.
You have all these nutcakes walk in and buy a boatload of guns here in Virginia?
Governor McDonnell made it clear this will be a critical discussion in January when the General Assembly convenes.
If people were armed, not just a police officer, but other school officials that were trained and chose to have a weapon, certainly there had been an opportunity to stop aggressors coming into the school. So I think that's a reasonable discussion.
Pitting state leaders like Delegate Bob Marshall.
I'm saying train the individuals. Don't certify anybody if they can't meet a standard. You have to meet the standards for safety and competence of the Virginia State Police.
Against state leaders like Senator Louise Lucas.
Makes my blood boil. As if our teachers don't have a hard enough job as it is.
There is no doubt guns and whether to further control them will be a divisive issue in January when the General Assembly meets. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.